We're on.
So we're live?
We're live. Is this thing on?
Good evening. It is a pleasure to have you all join us tonight. We have all of the boxes filled. It is a monumentous occasion tonight. So it is a pleasure to have everybody on board. We have a interesting new artwork sitting behind Maddie. A really pretty little piece of art.
Oh God.
We can see. You don't need to move the camera.
It looks like you and your partner have slain the wedding mimic. So a massive congratulations on overcoming one of life's many great challenges. The beast has been slain.
Tolerating the other human who you spend your life.
Coexistence is that hurdle.
Magical.
Tonight we are in an exciting point of the story that we look forward to jumping into. But before we do that, is there any announcements from the team?
Mic check.
Mic check.
Can we hear Jess?
Can we hear Jeremy?
I'm here. Hello. Come on.
Well, I can't hear him. What's going on?
Extra points to the rhythm. Let's do it.
I think we have Mike. I see that my little mic bar's going crazy.
We can hear Jess. We can hear Jess. Woo!
We're doing it. Tonight's the night. So, as we just before we go into our introduction, I'll remind everyone what's at stake here tonight.
No,
Last episode.
bad cat.
That will be, what was it, 6 rerolls for me tonight? 6 cards?
Fucking
Cool.
hell.
I poked the cat.
I wanted to. I was like,
She poked
Dan,
back.
tell Kat I'm not talking to her. I'm like, what did she do? And then I was like, see that, and I'm like, yeah, okay, it was probably more of that.
So tonight, as Hector is no longer with us, a arm no longer attached to his elbow, he now stands before you, inhabited by a voice that you are not all familiar with. As he looks to you and speaks of things of great danger to your friend Hector, you all are left with a choice: to put up with this creature of misfortune, or to try and fight back and get your friend back. Lots at stake tonight. And don't forget, after the big fight, we've got dessert. Pavlova is to be served.
Good play of words.
And with that, Jez, let's roll that introduction.
Roll the intro.
And we're back! I think that timing was terrible.
Much intro.
We've made it perfect timing, orchestrated, practiced. We are here. So, as we recall, you're all standing in the entrance to Pavlova's great fortress sitting in the center of the swamp. As you will all come out of the nightmarish dream, where reality has now become the nightmare, you suddenly realize that all of your friends were around you the whole time. You just weren't looking at them for a time.
The game's paused and I can't
So we have a
see
couple of
anything.
people to drag out. We got Orbit.
The game-
We got Malchus already. We have Flint popping out. You hear his pistol load. We got Harm. Am I missing anybody?
Sorry, my foundry's paused. Like it says game pause.
My
Not
game
anymore.
is also
I can.
paused. It is
turn
no
it
longer
off.
paused. Oh, there it is. It's gone.
It just stops
We
you
can
guys
move.
from moving and exploring without
Mm.
my permission.
I can see now.
Well, in
Now
that
you guys
case,
can't walk around out of initiative order.
you have control and trust issues, Robin.
Inevitably, it's just sort of part and parcel with being a DM and having Dan on your players' side.
You're just tired of us shitting all over your story.
I don't know why I get like singled out. Like I am not the
What
most
have I ever
chaotic
done to deserve such ridicule? And
I am not the most chaotic element currently in the story.
You're the most chaotic element in the universe right now, mate.
Absolutely, there is one constant, and that is Finry.
That is Finnery. It's true.
Yeah.
So
It's a
I think that's
blessing
everybody.
and a curse.
Are we anybody not represented tonight? We've got 7.
Plenty of
We've
bloods
got
and
7.
extras.
Good.
Represent.
We're all accounted for.
I don't have a backup character for when Synzar kills this
That's
Finnery.
that's okay. Like I'm expecting
Okay,
it'll
okay.
either go everybody lives or we have a wipe and we start a new campaign. So we are playing this tonight.
We can all
So-
be Finry.
As you all spawn into existence, the chunk loads. You see a seed in front of you. As some of you may recall, the last time you stepped foot in this room, you felt that humidity as this pool of water sat stagnant in the center of the space. This lily pad at the one end and this mirror on the opposite. The mannequins now where Hector stands, Finry right beside him. You see that there's a slain creature on the ground, some sort of a flying creature with tentacles, and everything seems to be covered with a black sort of coating, a black powdered coating. The only gaps in that coating are where Hector and Finry must have lain down or fallen in whatever sort of fight had here. You see Hector now armless, except when you look closely, you can see that the arm sometimes shimmers, as if both there and not there at the same time. As you all gaze upon him now, the voice that leaves his mouth, a foreigner to you all.
What's up, guys? That's pretty fun.
It's very.
I just like to say, Hector, I always thought you were armless, but now I see I was wrong.
Oh, Finry, I've heard your jokes so many times by Hector, and they weren't funny then, and they're not funny now.
Bitch, I'm hilarious.
I sort of like my ears perk up when I hear that tone of voice. I'm like, hey, I remember you.
Oh,
Hey, it's Hector's side twin?
hello again, Walbert. It's good to meet you in person this time.
Yeah, it's strange to see that you're out here rather than in here.
Oh, I've always been out there, as you say. It's just that now I have more movement, more ability to control what happens here. More ability, more time to talk and get to know each and every one of you.
Oh, well, that sounds delightful.
I suppose the first thing we should get to is, well, what is it that you want, Synzar?
Well, Finry, what is it that you want? What is it that Walbert wants, that Dr. Rab wants? What do we all want here?
We want
Well, I want Hector back.
This is a very
Knowledge.
unanimous decision.
Hector will be coming back. I'm sorry. Hector's gone now.
So who
Yes,
came first, Hector or you?
What do you mean, who came first? Well, you were always both there.
I don't have
I
it
was-
both. It's just me.
Hector was my student. Hector was my student. He was merely a vessel to get me to where I needed to be. And Finry, I thank you for helping me realize where I am now. destruction
See
of
you.
my property is another consequence for you all altogether, and we'll come to that when the time is right. But you've given
But you
Hector
don't-
that edge, that push that he needed to let go. So
But
thank
you don't
Finnery.
think you yourself, your consciousness could be served by a better body than this small gnomish one? Something
It is-
stronger,
it
more
is-
powerful?
Like a Roomba body? Like,
I mean, he is 3/4 of the man he used to be.
This is the same. Hector and I are very, very similar. This is what I know. I don't need physical strength, height. I don't need to be big. I am enough. Or I will be.
What if we could give you the body of a being beyond what us mere mortals are capable of?
who are you calling a mere mortal?
Hector,
A deathly
not right
quiet
now.
fills the space.
What do you mean, Finnery? What is this body you refer to? And it's not as though that
Well,
Yeah, I know.
I'm
I want to know
able
what he's
to
talking about
just
too. Like,
jump between different bodies. This is not how it works, Finnery. This is not how it works.
yes, but we're in the Feywild, and things work a little bit different here. There are magics that are beyond the mortal ken, as it were.
And that is exactly the point, isn't it?
Yes.
Exactly
What
I want to learn as well.
What if we were to make a deal, give you a body more powerful, more robust than Hector, and in exchange, you would give us Hector back?
He served me so well, Finnery. Why would I give that up so willingly?
but look, you could have Finnery.
No, well, I'm not saying I'm not saying myself. I have no magical abilities except for my dashing good looks and roguish charm. But
See,
I could
perfect.
give you the power of immortality, and you would have a vessel that could contain your great might, O mighty Synzar.
Flattery will get you many places, Finnery. What is this immortality you speak of?
Immortality, I think, speaks for itself.
But how? How would you facilitate that? You with your
It's
small-sized brain.
not so much me. It would be me as a Fey being channeling the power of the Fey into this vessel for you.
We will cross that bridge when we come to it, but given the length of time I've spent studying this phenomenon, it's not something to be easily tampered with, not something that can be easily achieved. I don't think it matters where one is.
I think-
Why didn't you just keep your own body? Why did you study this body phenomenon for so long?
Some secrets are best kept secret.
And some people should stay dead, but I don't listen to those things.
I have a
Why
question,
Hector?
if you don't mind.
You can certainly ask, Warbert.
For the intents and purposes of that cohabitation, as it were, of Hector's body, is this something that you're inextricably linked together now, or are you more like, say, the water in a cup, and you can, like, are you permanently there, or... I'm just, as a warlock, I'm just very, very interested in how it goes along with, like, there's possession, there's, like a melding of souls, like...
I haven't fully been able to wrap my own mind around that just yet. At the moment when I tried the experiment which I was trying, and something didn't go quite to plan, and then when I came to, I was no longer in control of my body, and I could hear this extra voice, a voice speaking that wasn't me. And over time, I came to realize that I was part of Hector. And I've used that ever since, and I've tried to learn more about what's happened.
How long?
How long has it been since the incident? Oh, years now, years. Maybe 10, 15 years.
Interesting.
It was before Hector and I came to this Trankasha, and I'm thankful that he did.
So how were you bound by this book?
We were not bound by this book. This book was my study, my journal, my notes, which, luckily, I still keep a lot of that upstairs. So Finnery's destruction of that property is no longer relevant right now.
Oh, I think Warbit is very warm
Animated.
for some reason.
Oh, hello.
Hello, internet.
No, Synzar, as you're so called.
Who's that?
The great
Is Hector really
Synzar,
gone?
Malchus.
You don't know.
Is he gone for good? Is he still inside you? Can he still take
Let
possession
me check.
of the body?
Malchus.
Oh, I don't know if this is gonna work, but I really kind of want to. I want to cast a spell. I don't know if it's gonna work though. Like my intent is just trying to like separate Hector from Synzar. So I want to cast command, and I want to say Hector. So it's a wisdom saving throw of 16. I want to kind of like command Hector forth.
Ooh.
Cool idea. I like it.
Interesting.
Well, I was trying to go leave, so I was trying to like suss out whether it was like something he could actually be expelled from, like if he could just be like tossed out like a cup of water. I think that's a little bit more complicated than that. So I'd rather bring Hector forward to explain himself.
I think what I'll
You're
do
trying to like Moon Knight it.
as a result of the spell, like, and obviously, to symbolize how far Hector is inside of the consciousness, I'm going to give them a advantage to the save, just to say like, hey, they're not really fronting, to say like that sort of terminology. So it's like to symbolize the resistance they have to being pulled forward, and Synzar's sort of trying to hide them in sort of the recess of the mind. So I'll roll that and we'll see where we end up. So what was your DC there?
It's 16.
16. So it was a wisdom save. What's your wisdom modifier, Hector?
+1.
+1. So whatever this roll. The highest roll there was a 60. So no, that was not right. We got a 9 + 1. It's a 10. So they do still get commanded. You get a voice that goes through. And what was your command?
Hector! Like, I command Hector.
Synzar.
Mhm.
In your mind, you hear the bubbling of a insistent voice, a repetitive voice. It begins to wear on you as you're thrown back in your memories. You find yourself again standing at the benches with your alchemy tools laid out, your ingredients upon your shelves, your different attempts at uncovering the meaning behind life everlasting. And you see your apprentice full of curiosity, though inspiring, often more so annoying, as his voice continues to badger at you, vying for attention. And that voice now springs to life again in your mind. In the background, no longer silent, you begin to understand what your voice must have sounded like to Hector for all these years. That's what I'll give you for that roll.
You just visibly see like a flinch in this guy's appearance, just like there's no Hector Wobbit.
Insight check.
Let's do a competition there. Can you do a deception check against her insight?
I have a +0.
You can do it.
But that's a mere 6. However, before I know what the thing is, I can add. I've got abilities. Hold on. I can add this, a D10. So let's roll that. That's a 1. Christ, do you want to save
Looking
your
good. Seven's pretty good.
unfamiliar acquaintance or not?
Apparently not.
11.
And with a 12 deception from Synzar, you can't seem to read into whether or not they were lying or telling the truth.
Synzar, what say you to the deal? An immortal body to carry you through the ages, spreading the knowledge and the power that is you, the grandness. And in exchange, you give Hector back to us for now until you get this body.
You seem to think that I'm on some kind of mission to become the only immortal creature out there, Fenry. This was never the plan.
What is the plan?
My plan is to create everlasting life for everyone who chooses it. What good is
As
a world where
somebody
people I know
really
come and
gives
go?
that away, what is different? I can give you everlasting life right now. Come and shake my hand.
But how, huh? How? I need to know how it works, the science behind it, how the different chemicals react to create that everlasting life.
Chemicals? Life doesn't come from chemicals.
Where does the is your curiosity sated by just being given the answers? As a scientist, you would want to figure it out yourself, have it happen to yourself, and then figure it out how it happens.
That's
It's
exactly right.
not an experiment until you can repeat the outcome.
That is
exactly
true.
right. And being given an immortal body isn't necessarily going to help me realize my dream, my vision.
But it gives you more time.
It gives you more data,
You seem to
more information.
You're not currently immortal, are you?
I'm trapped in this ridiculous mortal body, yes.
What if that ridiculous
sounds
body
like
no longer existed?
Then
What if you had a body that could sustain you through the ages until you were able to crack the code?
well, Fenry, you've given me this concept of an immortal body. Show me where it is. Show me where it is and let me realize what the opportunity is.
This
Someone let
immortal
me
body,
know what's going on, because I don't know.
this immortal body is. I know of 3 places it could be. It's either right here with us now, or it's with one of the other hags. But if you promise me that you will return Hector to us now, I will give you that body.
Fenry, if there's one thing I've learned in being a passenger with this cows and my life before being part of Hector, is that promises should never be made lightly unless one can guarantee they can be kept.
I can give you this immortal body, and I swear it upon the magics of the Feywild. If I break this promise, if I break this deal, I will suffer the consequences, and you'll be scot-free. This is the way the Feywild works.
As you say that, you hear that awful sound of a wooden chair being sort of pushed back as somebody stands up from their seat from upstairs.
I'm pretty sure Pavlova is eating popcorn and is about to come down, or she's either going to the bathroom or about to come down here. But I can promise you, I will give you an immortal body.
That's fantastic, Finry. And when that happens, let's talk. Because without me seeing what it is, it could be an immortal ant, which is not going to serve me well.
Still we have to worry about it. It's still
I've
immortal.
seen
Think of
I've
the
seen your
carrying
tricks play out
capacity.
before.
Matrix.
I mean, I probably have a
Treat me
rock
like
here
some
somewhere.
kind
We
of-
can put you in a rock.
Don't treat me like some kind
Googly
of
eyes on that
newcomer
rock.
to you and your tricks and the rest of you. I've been here the whole time.
I will give you a body that will enable you not only to become immortal, but time to think and to come up with the scenarios and the experiments so that you can enact whatever plan that it is that you have. Create immortality for everyone.
I'm
wants
grateful for your promise, and look, I will hold you to it. You give me this body that will be immortal. That would be fantastic. Thank you, Finry.
So we have a deal? And I hold out my hand.
No, we don't have a deal. You show me this body. You show me this vessel. I still have no
really want to,
guaranteed means to be able to transfer my consciousness, transfer my mind. That was never part of my original intent. You must understand that me becoming part of Hector was mere side effect of the incident. Am I able to replicate that? I don't know. Do I want to replicate that? I don't know either.
I don't know unless you try.
While he's monologuing, Harm leans over to Finry's like, maybe he won't make a deal because he's seen you abandon us before, and he's, expects that to happen. So, he wouldn't make a deal with someone who's going to run away on him anyway. Just saying. Just saying.
Finry just looks over, gives Harm massive side eye. But where were you last session?
Now, before we go any further, is anyone else carrying some sort of bullshit second side character passenger? Like, we got Malchus and his fucking sword.
I wish Anubis was on board.
Oh, no, I literally just have dreams of other Finrys. I don't know if we've brought that up yet.
Let's do a show of hands. Anyone else?
I think Finry's hand is up because they just turn up whenever he wishes to be someone different.
Yeah.
Someone different, but the same.
Synzar, we are in
The great Synzar.
like the Viper pit right now. Things could go south very quickly at any moment. If somebody comes downstairs that we're here to destroy, where do you stand? Are you with us or against us in the meantime? We'll sort all this Hector body stuff out, but
I am here to... I'm with you. Like, I'm here to... You've gotten Hector this far along my quest, along my journey. I'm not going to throw that away and side with some hag who's in it for herself or go off on my own. This is a crew which is going to support each other, I think, Harm. Is that the answer you're looking for?
Synzar, I'll give you one quick warning. I will literally eat you, and then raise you and make you eat your own other arm if you mess us up going into this battle.
That sounds a little extreme, but would that make me immortal?
I could take you to Anubis' landing.
Yes.
That would make you immortal.
Alternatively, he
Very
could
fun
bring you
place.
on like a zombie Jaeger character indefinitely. That makes you immortal.
That would be a certain
Yes,
type
but-
of immortal.
Not without my mind.
You
Yeah.
speak of the deals and how I'm gonna, how people can follow through on these deals. You forget we're in a land of magic where deals and
Yes.
promises mean a whole of a hell lot more than they do on whatever plane you come from.
I'd come from the same plane as you.
Well, do you come from this plane, the Feywild?
No, this is true, I do not. The same plane as the majority here.
Yes, so I'm fairly certain that if you're going to walk out of here, I think you've got two options. One is to try to break through us, or take the deal that guarantees your survival. We have I can
don't
give
do
you
well with
one of two
ultimatums, Finley.
vessels. Only a
But,
Sith
like-
deals in ultimatums. Jesus Christ, dude.
If he's more useful than Hector, why don't we just keep him?
Well, I think that needs to be seen.
Is he
Seems
more
like
useful?
I've only known all of you guys for like 2 days. I don't really care
I've known
what
the
you
party
are on a
for
personal
I've known the
level.
party for 5, so
And
Hector's
what a
like-
2 days it has been, Warbit. What a 2 days. It's been eventful.
It has.
You see, Orbit understands. We don't need this Hector.
Well, I didn't say that. I do think Hector has been useful. I'm just saying,
Useless.
if you prove to be more useful than Hector has been useful, then you could stay. If you don't, then you have to go. I mean, you just got to prove your worth.
I
Yeah,
believe
show us what you got.
Show you
Not
what
now.
I've got.
No, but not now. Don't
Knew
expend
what you
anything.
got.
Yeah, can you like grow an arm or something again?
Look closer, Flint, and I focus on the arm and it turns solid again.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's
Cool.
a
Shake
neat
it,
party
disappears.
trick.
yeah, so you
But I'm fairly sure that there's a big bad upstairs that we need to
I've
deal
been-
with.
Right.
Anubis demands it.
You're talking my language. I've been sitting as a passenger in Hector for so long. Let me back into my craft.
I just hear a lot of talking, Synzar, and not a lot of fireworks going off. So
Yeah, but we're not in battle yet. You don't want to waste
yeah,
this
just
spell.
hold that thought. Just
I'll give you that one for free, Rafe, but that's the last one.
So in other words, we're moving on.
Please.
Wait, before we move on, Synzar,
Yes.
I don't know what
Marcus.
happened with you and Hector, but how do we know that you won't try to take over one of our bodies in the dead
I
of night
guess-
while we're sleeping?
I can't. I don't know the way to jump between bodies. This is not how it works. I ended up inside Hector as some side effect of an incident where something went wrong. It's not as though I can just do it at will. Marcus.
We
You're
should
an incompetent
totally-
teacher.
we should totally give Synzar Malchus
Like,
a
you should be
sword.
worried.
Like we're just gonna have an
Yes.
inception of characters.
It's never ending.
That
use the
sword you
sword,
have is
Synzar, in
rather
the book.
curious.
Keep my sword out of your goddamn mouth.
Do you walk up and slap him, or
Yeah. I'll slap him.
Oh, I want to try and catch his hand. If he's going to slap me, I want to try and catch his
Okay.
hand.
All right. How do we do this?
Hold up, before we make this roll, how do I roll a bet whether this is going to be critical or not?
Exclamation
Bet?
bet, then either nat 20 or nat 1, no spaces, and then how much you want to bet.
And this is this my point I've got, is it?
Yes.
how many points want to throw in the mix?
I can't bet any of my points because I need to save that 100k
For the hot tub
for the hot
stream.
tub stream.
I spent all my points last session giving
Didn't
you
work.
guys blessings.
The
Humidity.
DM of Hot Tub is coming.
No, without the brackets, Dave.
Got you.
It's a placeholder.
So if he's going to try and slap me, how do I try
Does
and
that
catch it? Good.
Or is it?
I
Do you
thought
need- do you
Malchus
need the-
was
do you need the pipe in
slapping
there?
Rafe. I
No.
thought Malchus was going to slap Rafe.
That's a charm.
you're together?
Okay,
I'll-
so
Oh, that didn't work.
Bear with us, chat, while we work out our.
You tried.
technical
Give it a go,
difficulties.
team. Now's your chance. Work it out. Thanks, Crafty.
So we've got this this hand coming in for a big slap from Malchus to, is it Synzar? Synzar?
Synzar. The
Synzar.
great
Synzar?
Synzar to you, DM.
Sorry, my apologies.
Ooh, wow.
As
Yeah,
the
keep
slap
that up,
comes
that's good.
in, your hand goes up to try and block it. Can we get, what would it be? I'll give you a dex save with the DC 18 to try and block this attack. It didn't work at the Oscars. It didn't block at the Oscars, but it did tonight as the
Ooh, that was my attack roll, sorry.
Oh, sorry, that was your attack. Yeah. No, quicker than the defense. Your hand strikes in. Let's get a bit of damage from that unarmed strike.
0 damage. 1 ± 1.
The massive, the audacity of
More for
this slap.
show than anything.
And
Yeah.
it's just this graceful feather of a slap just
Synzar.
brushes on his cheek.
Yeah.
In the meantime, you just gave him COVID, but it's going to take about
Yeah.
several days for it to.
28 hours.
Pre-incubation period.
Yeah.
You may have the body of my old friend, but I'm not sure if I can trust you yet. Be careful what you
You
say.
did just caress his cheek, so I'm not sure how violent that is.
Marcus, we're only really just getting to know each other. Just slow down. Let me prove what I'm capable of.
Oh my god, we are wasting so much time.
Let's do this.
Oh,
So,
come on, guys.
as you all find your way down here, a bit of a slap happening. You find yourselves again in this massive space with movement upstairs, and yet many doors leading from the space, as well as a obvious staircase in the upper left-hand side of the room, leading upwards.
So you say there's many doors? I suppose there are. Aren't there?
Yes.
Can we crack Can we?
You have freedom of exploration. You guys should be able to open them in Foundry.
Can I check this one for traps?
You may do a little investigation if you would so like to.
Yeah, look for traps.
Finnery is going to go over into the corner and just be like, what the fuck? We've just left a party member to whatever fate.
Sounds like
Well-
someone I know.
Well,
To be fair, he was kind of dishonest in hiding it from us.
He was saying that in his head. He's just going to go over the corner and he's like, okay, I'm not going to... Fine, we're not going to deal with this. I just won't deal with the party for the moment.
Rafe
Um,
rolled
Look
a
at
4.
Harm. He just
So
like stare at Harm.
With
and be
your
like,
4, you try and
Oblivious.
inspect it a little bit and try and see what's going on. As you listen and try and sort of take things in, you notice 2 things. The first one is a smell of chemicals. Something like formaldehyde, if you've ever come in contact with it. The second being that there is a buzz coming from the room, almost like an annoying fly or a gnat that keeps buzzing around the room. And that is all that you can sort of determine by investigating this door.
Ah, I've got ghostly gaze.
Which allows you to do what?
I can see through shit. Hold on.
There is no feces in your vicinity.
No, not literal shit, you cock nugget.
That's a new one. I like it.
Once per short rest as an action, you gain the ability to see through solid objects with dark vision to a range of 30 feet for a whole minute. So I could just do I'm just gonna activate that spell and do a lap.
So are you X-ray visioning this space right now?
Everything.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. This will be
Well-
a fun little exposition
Oh,
dump.
While you work that out,
Can you look up?
Yes.
Yeah,
As long as
assume
it's 30 feet.
Excellent.
Yes. Yeah, so
Well-
I'm just trying to determine what would be under Pavlova's skirts right now.
Oh, God!
Which is a sight that I didn't think I'd ever need to describe. Thank
While
you.
you're
Crusty.
working out what the
Hashtag
meat
crusty.
look like, I'm going to lean over to Finry and just whisper in his ear, I have no love for Synzar. At the first sign of any dramas, I will take him to meet Anubis. I will drain every piece of life for him. I'd rather lose Hector than unleash this guy and lose Hector. Do you understand?
I made my promise to the party, which was Hector, not this person. I have a plan, but I need help.
Well, I mean, we all know you need help, but what's that got to do with the plan?
Got you there.
You got me. High five, buddy. High five. I have a plan.
While you two are chatting, Warbit,
Cooking some fatty foods and block up his arteries with cholesterol over a long period of time, or
you begin to gaze around the space.
Well, you remember what my mission is, and one of those things is an immortal cow.
Mm-hmm.
I said I'd promise him an immortal body.
Yeah. He didn't seem to take you up on it though. I think you might be under your con.
No, probably. Can you rip this Synzar out of Hector's skull?
Look, I don't have that ability. I can draw him out of the entire body, but I couldn't draw an individual piece out. Like I couldn't just draw him out. I would just obliterate the entire thing. But if push comes to shove, I can call on Anubis and see what he can do for us.
Well,
that could be a way.
All hail Anubis. If it comes to it, I'll do what I can because I want my buddy Hector back.
While all this is happening, I'm just like staring at Synzar and like smiling, like I'm gonna rip his soul out. Hey, these are good. Synzar, looking forward to next steps.
Best friends.
We're gonna kill him for sure.
Actually, Robin, since I've been studying at the university, do you reckon I came across any type of book that has any recognition of bodies connecting or anything like that, or how to separate them?
I think your studies, as you probably would also admit, weren't necessarily in that vein.
True.
They were. You definitely came across a lot of historical documentation of civilizations and peoples who had a similar fascination with the afterlife and with preserving life and extending life.
But no real confirmed results. Yeah, okay. I get it.
Whether or not you ever dove into that, I'll leave that up to you and your character.
Hey DM, with my character and diving into like the books of Kama Sutra, was there anything in it about separating like the beings? Or
so most of what you studied in the Kama Sutra was actually the combining of beings. There wasn't a lot about separation. There was almost just an intense unity.
Not a lot of self-love. Just a lot of like
usually a collective experience. We got that one. Thanks, Dan.
Hey, Warbit, you said you had a cool trick.
Warbit, you are looking at now, gazing at the room next to you. The silence from you comes and stems mostly from what you've just seen next to you. As you gaze through the door that Rafe now stands in front of, you see a horse head that leers at you with glossy eyes. Its lips are drawn back from pointed yellow teeth. The head is affixed to a large 8-legged armature made of wicker and wire, situated so that it faces the doorway where you enter. Near it is a wooden crate. You see flies buzz about the disordered room, landing occasionally on animal carcasses that lie strewn in small piles. On a low table rests an assortment of tools: saws, knives, scrapers, a hand-cranked drill, sewing thread, needles, and awls, around several taxidermic subjects in various stages of completion. A shelf that looks on the verge of collapse leans against the wall between two windows and bears the weight of dozens of stuffed horrors. Each one is an artless combination of 2 or more animals.
Let's go in that room.
Someone seems to have some
Picture chamber?
creative vision issues.
Sorry.
Or a failed teddy bear business or something.
Wobbit, what do your rabbit eyes see?
Some seriously fucked up shit.
Hang on, tell us later. You said you could do this thing for a minute.
Yeah.
Let's use the party trick on all
30
the
seconds apart. You look around.
Across the room and like points Warbit's head up at where we hear the sound.
So I'll move sort of sequentially around the space because I think that'll make the most sense, and I'll move upstairs afterwards.
This is a cool party trick, though.
As you do look towards the east in sort of the upper room, the northeastern room, inside you see scraps of cloth and bundles of yarn. What's it? Sorry?
The music's changed.
Dun, dun. Yeah, you see scraps of cloth and bundles of yarn piled up throughout the room. Sort of all you see in that space. And what do we got in this room here? It is B5. B5, you see a trove of lesser goodies. A large cupboard stands alone in the dark room. Fine scrollwork frames the cupboard's two doors, which are bridged by a circular panel of dark wood. The panel is inlaid with silver hourglass sigil. That is the room down in the southeast. As you gaze up, you notice that above you there are many more rooms that seem to be sort of strewn about the space. Directly above
place.
you see, where is Warbit? Warbit, is that where you're standing, or are you standing over?
So I would have been going like around.
Cool. You can drag yourself if you want. Yeah.
Ah, I'm in the
Sorry,
way.
I was dragging you while you were dragging yourself. So yeah, as you stand right there, above you, as you gaze up, seems to be the exit from the stairwell. And as you gaze in further north, you see the bottom of what looks to be a bed. Looking a bit further south, there seems to be a room where all you can see is the underside of some chairs and a table, as well as what must be some other furniture, but given your angle, it's hard to determine. You see further down from that is some sort of contraption. It seems to be sort of metal hanging from the ceiling and down towards you. You see in the center of the room must be a form of a library. It's an empty space with several furniture pieces that are wide and narrow around the room. You notice a pair of feet, actually two sets of feet, and as you gaze, you notice another two sets of smaller feet, sort of to the northernmost part of the second floor. They all seem to be gathered around some furniture, and you notice what seems to be strewn around the room are plates. All you see is these plates hanging on the floor, blocking the rest of your vision. You see some meat, and you see some furniture, you see blood, and you see an empty table, and you see several tables, all with what looks to be some sort of a covered artifact on them as you gaze around the room quickly in your minute.
Okay.
Does she see either a batch of rainbow mushrooms, a very holy looking spud, or a very prize-worthy cow?
It is hard to determine. There seems to be a lot of things that are covered in the space, but if there was to be something like that existed, it would be coveted and covered as a result.
Okay.
Warbit, did you say that there was a closet full of magic stuff?
Warbit hasn't really said too much of anything yet. There's a freak workshop with a failed teddy bear business. There is, what else was there? There was a room of scrolls and shit. There was a room that had like an armoire that had, it looked kind of nice. It could be nice furniture. There could be something nice in it. That was like over here. Upstairs, I'm pretty sure there's Bavalona and some cronies. And they've got like a library and probably where she keeps her coveted shit.
Well, what's the plan then? Are we gonna go up there and just be like, "Hacha, kung fu"?
Well, weren't we implicating?
Or...
There was a plan. We came here for a reason. Wasn't that?
Plans never work.
Yeah. But we haven't like attacked anyone yet.
You have evidence from Agdon Longscarf. Have you forgotten
Yes,
already?
that's the
Yes,
one. That's why
the book.
So we're
Oh
gonna
my
incriminate Agdon.
The plan,
Well,
it's all
burn that
coming
book
together
too.
again.
What? There is
Don't give me ideas.
What if? What if? Just bear with me. Okay, our original plan when we came here was to free the archfey that was imprisoned. Well, from what you guys told me, I wasn't there for this part. But your original plan was to free the archfey that was imprisoned by these hags, And if you take out one of these hags, you could then, potentially have a bit more power to take out the other ones when we go to the next thing. Just gonna say, you could just take this one out. I'm pretty sure she knows you're there. So we send Synzar up. Synzar, you do your awesome magic shit because you're obviously so powerful and mighty.
Yeah.
And
Cookie.
yes, you go up there and you're like, pachee, magic and shit. And then, she's out of the way. Otherwise, we can just plant the book and there's no combat and everyone gets blue balls and then we go on our merry way.
But Mr. Anubis, Lord Anubis, long may he reign, demands the name's in the book.
The name is in the book. It's very clear. This is not
You people are people of inaction. And Hector heads up the stairs.
I think Hector does
He
not
said
head up the
Hector.
stairs.
He just said
Hector
Hector.
doesn't head up the stairs.
No, take Bexy's jazz, you Hector now.
People of inaction, you say that, but I burnt the fucking book, okay? I thought that was going to do something.
Inaction.
Boy, well, you're right. It did something.
Trails off.
Ugh.
Hey,
So if
you
he's
know
walked
what,
away-
Synzar?
I can't see him. I've walked upstairs.
I'm gonna
It's following you.
I hope I can cast Mage Hand.
Yeah, so I can dimension door, and before he gets too far away, like if he's like heading up the stairs, I'm gonna dimension door in front of him, grab him, and bring him back.
I can dash up the stairs and try to drag him back if required as well.
Let's just see how
Let's
this goes.
go up the stairs and fight things.
You know what? Let's do it. You know what? As the great Fey warrior Leroy Jenkins says, Leroy Jenkins! Run upstairs.
Oh, far out.
Nice of you to join me,
Right.
Finnery.
I'll quickly get you all
I just
positioned.
nut shot.
Can I
shot Synzar as I go past? Just like,
can I
sack-whack him.
quickly? Well, who are you
not-
doing that to?
Sorry, who's not going up the stairs?
I'm going.
I went upstairs. I'm gonna follow eventually.
I'm gone.
Is
I'm
everybody going up or is somebody stay back?
Harmy's going to take care of Pavlova's.
I am going to cast Storm Rune on. Who's
Okay.
furthest up the stairs? Is it Hector?
Definitely Hector.
Synzar.
Synzar.
Sorry.
Who's
Synzar.
Hector?
Hector's
We don't have
Hector's
Hector
blood.
anymore.
Hector's
But we
Synzar.
don't have to accept Synzar, okay?
There is
I'm
no
gonna keep
Hector.
saying
There is
I
only
don't
Synzar.
It's Hector. And
It's very Zool of you.
Calm
he's
down,
gonna
Hector.
die. Synzar's gonna fucking die.
You all in. What?
I have
Yeah.
to.
While Mark's working out
No.
spells, I cast some warding bond on the wraith earlier when we were in the lower room.
Oh, thank you.
He's got some.
And
Storm Rune doesn't do what I want it to do, so I'm not going to cast it.
okay, and whilst that stuff is happening, as Finnery catches up to Synzar, he's gonna sack whack him and just like give him a little flick of the nuts. It's like, eh. And then
you are
walk into
all
the room.
now in this upper space, the landing of this area, and you find yourselves surrounded by doors on most sides.
Man, I hate this place. There's too many freaking doors.
Don't trust the
there also
doors.
seems
Open
to
plan
be
living.
there's as described scores of portraits depicting grumpy, sad, frightened, and angry people. The figures include humans, elves, halflings, bullywugs, goblins, and among others. The portraits are rendered in a variety of mediums, including paintings, etchings, and sketches. All are displayed in gaudy gilded frames. A framed oval mirror 2 feet wide and 5 feet tall hangs in the middle of one wall.
What is it with this chicken mirrors?
Are any of these people obvious to me by any chance? Like, have I flicked across a page by any chance?
They do not seem recognizable from your history.
Fair enough.
None of them are Gollop.
You all connected.
A few of them could remind you of Gollop, but that's probably more because you don't understand the nuance of the bullywog sort of facial features.
Are any of them
Arcana check?
You can do an Arcana check.
Are any of them Harrigan people, or just like more like fleshy humanoids?
This person doesn't seem too fussed about who she draws or paints or gets painted, so I'd assume there'd be some around. All right, with that particular roll, you have a prickle up your neck, Warbit. With your Arcana at that level, it's obviously not a detect magic of any sort, but you do you get this feeling that there's more going on here than meets the eye.
What is it? What are we doing in this room?
I have a funny feeling that these paintings might actually have people in them, but that's just a hunch I have.
What about the mirror?
I didn't really check out the mirror yet. I was more focused on the misery of all of these.
It's okay. We don't need to worry about the other people, considering we don't worry about what is happening with Hector. So we can just continue on. And
why don't you go and check yourself out in the mirror so you can see what the rest of us have to put up with?
I already know.
Malchus
I already know that you have to contend with my dashing and handsome good looks. And I know it's very distracting to a lot of you. And why you roll so fucking poorly all the time. So, Synzar.
Hey, Warbit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does any of this look familiar from when you did your glassy-eyed look through shit?
You notice it, and it's definitely what you've seen, but from like the underside versus the right way up.
Is there anything that
we'll give a bit of a description about what I saw, and where I think I saw it ahead. So we'll talk about, about how far away I think that library part is, and where I think the cronies could be. They may have moved, and then there's a whole bunch of plates on the floor with meat on them for some reason. I don't know. I would think that'd be 1, a health issue, and 2, a tripping hazard.
You get this, as you start to think about it, you get the feeling that the door directly to your east that Hector now stands in front of would be where they were currently, all those feet were seen before.
Hector?
We're basically having
Hector?
a massive argument right outside that door.
Stage whispers.
What's through here then, Warbit?
That's probably where all the bad guys are.
You know what? Synzar, you should open that and show us just how fucking powerful you are, and take everything that they have and just turn it back on them, because you're obviously the great Synzar.
All fucking right, Finnery. You want it. You got it. And I try and open the door.
Ooh.
As you go to open it, you notice that it's locked. But as you go to attempt to open its mechanism, you hear that creaking of the chair again, and you hear a voice peek out. Who is it?
Why, it is the great Synzar and the cows. Won't you let us inside to converse?
At least to use our names.
Oh, well, come on in then. And you hear the lock mechanism opens on the door.
Do we hear anyone actually fiddle with that lock? Do we hear movement as if someone was shuffling out that room, or the door just unlocked?
The door just unlocks.
Cool.
Hector steps in.
Cool.
I mean, Hector, Synzar.
They're fighting within him.
You see the beauty that is above Lorna, which I will just open up the artwork so we can all again have a witness of this beautiful lady.
What the
Needs
hell?
a facial.
I'll pop that up on the screen.
Yeah,
for
That's not
everybody.
Pavlova.
Did everybody
Finri.
see Pavlova?
I was
Finri.
promised Pavlova. I was told there was a cake. The cake is a lie.
You notice that on Pavlova's sort of floating little stool here and how she's standing, there are these mini versions of her sort of skittering around her feet, and you see two of them being these two that sit by her side. But they don't look like they look there, they look like her in actuality. And across from them, you see this darkling that looks very similar to the merchants that were in the balloon that sold you your wares earlier.
I wouldn't buy anything
We
from.
have guests. Welcome.
Who has the book? Who has the book right now?
I
Who
thought you
has
had
the
it. Didn't you burn it?
No. The book from the book of bad blood with this fucking thing
Book
that we
book.
can just fucking.
Again, didn't you have that?
Oh my god! Fucking.
Did Hector have it?
Don't forget why we were fucking here.
Did Hector have it in the bag of holding?
Just while you're looking for this book, you just
Sorry,
see
can I
Hum
help you?
getting
You're
very
sort of
confused.
just standing in my entrance. Is there something
If
I can
no-
do for you? You have invaded my home.
If nobody has the book, Finnery has the book, and we'll have the.
You had this.
Of,
Yeah,
I
you
had the
this-
scarf.
I had it.
If you have the
This-
book,
I
you
had.
have the pizza scarf. I will stay outside the room.
Can I extend to
Fucking
you
hide
a
it.
cup of tea?
Holy shit! What the fuck is this plan?
That would be amazing.
It
Thank
took
you.
me a while to
Devising
remember because
the
I
plan.
was talking to the king, right? And the king gave me the book. So I've been holding on to the book.
king.
And
So
you have
you have the book.
I believe
you have
it.
the book with the scarf, with the scrap of scarf from Agdon.
Yes.
Staff. Okay, cool. Finnery
Babylon,
did
I'm
not enter the
Speak or
fucking
address
room.
me. You literally haven't answered a single question I had.
Babylon, I would take some
I'll pull Daddy's
tea
book.
if it's going.
Oh, excellent. And she, these mini versions of herself begin scurrying around and rushing through, and you see this darkling just look over at the three of you quietly as he stands.
All you
And
hear
cups of
walk-
tea are hurriedly brought to you from the sort of scrapped pieces of cutlery and crockery around the room.
all
I turn
you
to the
hear-
Darkling and I say, "You should really update your wares. That was, yeah, that was disappointing."
Well, actually, it's a very cool picture about this in the book. Let me quickly bring that up because I think it's,
Dan, what
it's
were you gonna
worth
say?
it.
Sorry. Oh no. So you have the book with the
Pretty sure.
piece of Agdon scarf. Cool. Awesome.
Mhm.
Worst
Do you guys
comes
see
to
that?
worst,
Mm.
worst comes to worst, Finnery says to Warbit as he walks through the door, is like, worst comes to worst, I'll take one for the team.
So yeah, this is the
You
Darkling.
desperately want to handle this, don't you?
I really don't. I really
You
don't,
don't?
because this is
You
gonna
sure?
be bad. This is gonna be bad. I have the scarf, and Finnery tugs at the scarf, and like,
Oh,
it
yeah.
won't come off.
Okay,
So-
all right. Head in the game. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
All right, we're
yeah.
here.
Gotta
Do your
get
job.
ahead.
I'm sorry, Your Eminence. Your ladyship. I was just distracted by the many beautiful paintings that you had down your corridor. We have come bearing a delivery from King Gollop.
What has that man got to do with it?
Oh, well, he instructed us to return this to yourself if we were ever to find it. And we did find it. We found it in the hands of Agdon.
That's so.
It is so.
Make a
Dramatic.
deception check.
Does
I'm
she have
afraid-
advantage with the piece of scarf?
I will say that you don't get disadvantage because of the piece of scarf.
And the letter that was written
That's a
very
21. It's pretty
Hey.
Good
good.
deception. She looks at you and she gazes. Well, thank you, my darling. It's a pleasure to have this returned to me.
It's a pleasure to bring it to you, ma'am.
I think
And I like flourish and hand it to her.
You see one of these little things, like holding this little teacup up to you as you hand it over to Bevlorna.
Much obliged. Then I take the tea and
It scurries away as quickly as it came.
Synzar pipes in. I think the return of the book was trying to secure King Gollop's innocence. Since we found the book at his request in the possession of Agdon Longscarf and returned it to you, it could not have been King Gollop, which had this book in his possession.
You make a good point, darling. I shall ponder it.
And might I just
Wonder
ask
indeed.
you a question or two, Bevlorna?
I see no reason after you invade my home that you cannot ask a question or two.
I understand you're rather learned in the magic of the world here. What say you have learned of everlasting life and preservation of body and soul?
You see her like begin to like draw a breath and she... You ask of things that are beyond you, little man.
No, but they are not.
Look upon my great brilliance and tell me that I have not cracked the goodness of everlasting life.
You've definitely cracked, that's for sure.
But how, Bevlorna? Teach me the secrets of it.
I shall teach you all that you wish to know, but you see, I am not without my own needs in this world. I do not have everything I want.
We volunteer, Finry.
Excellent, thank you very much.
Speaking,
Henry, I have
Thank
three
you.
jobs for you. The first, I need my pool fixed. Secondly, I need you to find... Oh, actually, no, that one is on my to-do list. I can mark that one off. You've actually found that for me, so I appreciate that. You got my book back. And then I am in need of you to pick up a package for me.
at the mention of his name, Finry's the back of his hand begins to burn where his promise was made to Anubis that he would help the party, and that means everyone in the party, including those who have a certain name written down in the book. And Finry peeks out from behind the door and takes a shot at Pavlova.
With that, we will pause for a break.
Right now.
Funny we went.
Synzar just
I
like,
didn't see that coming.
no!
Finry can't help it. Okay, it's not his fault. He feels this build up. He's like, this person, it's a bad person. They need to be taken care of, and it will help my friends, especially Harm, like and the entire party and the entirety of the Feywild. This person must be taken out, and then leans out.
Such a dick.
Amazing.
It's not Henry's fault. He didn't want to do that. That's why he stayed outside. He's like, if I go in there, I'm going to cause trouble.
Stays
So,
outside,
wait.
still causes trouble.
Harm's heart is glowing with excitement right now. Green, necrotic excitement.
She
Amazing.
will wait to react upon our return.
Amazing.
Oh, dear.
Pavlorna, I have a question.
We will see you in 10 minutes.
Cake or death?